Hi, and welcome back to Roam Away From Home. I'm Taylor, and this week we're mixing things up a little because I really want to talk about remote jobs. So we've had a lot of questions about remote jobs, remote income lately, and they've spanned across all different types of questions. How to work remotely, how to find a job, what are remote jobs, and different types of ways you can make an income on the road. Today I want to focus on what to look out for when you're actually applying for a remote job. So there are so many different ways to describe a remote job in a job posting. And a lot of times people kind of fall into a trap of applying and wasting their time and energy applying to jobs that aren't truly remote, even though they're kind of advertised as remote jobs. So when you're applying for remote jobs, there are some words to keep an eye out for. And these are going to be talking about the red flags of applying for remote jobs. So things to look out for that should indicate that it might not be a good fit for you. So the first thing is 100% commission jobs. This is so common because people are hungry for remote jobs. They want to be able to travel more. They want to work from home. 100% commission jobs are usually very difficult to make an income from right away from the start. They could say, oh, most people make XYZ income from the commission. But the truth is nothing is guaranteed in a 100% commission job. And when you take this, if you need income right away, you are going to be disappointed. Sure, maybe in the future you can make significantly more income at this job. But if you need remote income now and you're dependent on that because of bills you have or whatever it is, you obviously just cost of life in general, then try to avoid these 100% commission jobs. Especially if you're applying to remote sales jobs and you're applying to remote jobs of client managers or account executives, make sure that it's not a commission job only. There are some jobs that could work great that are base salary plus commission. That could be a good option for you. Just know that commission part is usually a little bit difficult at the start. Most of these commission jobs don't even pay out the commission until after 90 days. So just consider that if you're looking at especially sales jobs or anything that says 100% commission. The next red flag isn't something necessarily bad that is a malintent of the employer, but it is something that you should keep in mind if you're applying for this job. A temporarily remote position. So maybe it's temporarily remote because of something with COVID or the pandemic, or maybe they're building a new office space. But when they say temporarily remote, like that's in the description for the job, that most likely means that they fully intend on you being back in the office in the future. And if you are going to start and embark on this life of travel or digital nomad or whatever, then that is probably not going to be a good long-term fit for you. Very possibly you can take it now and then find a new job in the future. But if you're looking for stable income and you're looking for a remote job, really pay attention to temporarily remote. The next red flag that I find very common is lately some MLMs are posting as if they are job descriptions. This happens a lot more in Facebook groups and Facebook job postings where they'll say, oh, if you're interested in the product and you like sales, this is a great opportunity. Well, some of these are actually MLMs, multi-level marketing. And MLMs can be a great fit for some people, a very select group of people. I know someone that makes a great living with Mary Kay, but most people, especially people that need remote income now and they need to make that income stably, that is not a good fit for you. So really pay attention. If you're applying for a job that sounds too good to be true and it says that it is, maybe it's a partially commission or maybe it's like join a great fun team, Google the company and just research that company. Glassdoor or anything that has any review on it online will likely indicate if it is indeed an MLM. So those are 3 of the red flags when looking for remote jobs. But why I tell you to look out for those red flags is because they're a waste of your time. You don't even want to do them. So why bother going through the efforts if you're not going to be a good fit? So you just submitted an application, maybe got to an interview, maybe a second interview before you really realized what it was like. So just avoid that altogether. When you're applying for remote positions, employers right now know that remote jobs are in super high demand. People do not want to go back to the office. So employers have come up with some creative ways to create hybrid solutions or different ways of working remotely, but they don't really give you the flexibility you're looking for. So here are some common words and verbiage to look out for when you're applying for these remote jobs in the job description, just to know what you're getting into. The first is a common thing that's happening now is hybrid roles. So what is a hybrid role? Mike was actually hired full-time as a hybrid role. In his contract, it states 40% in office, 60% out of office. So that means he goes into the office for 2 days out of the week, and then he works from home 3 days out of the week. If you want to travel full-time, that's probably not a great fit for you. He's now fully remote, but at the time he was hired, he wasn't. So we actually stayed in a campground for the first half of the week, and he would Lyft or Uber into work, and then I would stay at the campground, and then the rest of the week we would travel around Arizona. But we were limited because we had to be in Arizona, right? And now we're in Mexico on the beach. So he's fully remote, and it has been a dream come true. When you're looking at a hybrid role, do not expect that could turn into a fully remote role. That is not the norm. Hybrid role is usually a way to compromise between remote working and in-office working. Many of these hybrid roles, they really expect you to be in the office. And the most common structure is either 40-60, which was Mike, so 40% in office, 60% out, or 60-40, 60% of out of office, 40% remote. Now, when you're doing the 40-60-60-40, and again, that is the most common that I've seen for a hybrid role. When you're doing that, it usually is split into first half of week and second half of week, but there are some employers that actually only give you the middle of the week off, and that makes it almost impossible to travel. So just keep that in mind. And if it's a hybrid role and you're applying for a hybrid role and that sounds okay to you, it sounds like something you're wanting to do, absolutely make sure that you understand those expectations before starting the position. The next type of wording to look out for in an application would be anything that says something like open to remote or remote possibility. Please, just be aware that when they say open to remote or remote a possibility, they are likely looking for a candidate that will be in office, but if they find the most perfect candidate in the world, maybe you could be remote. So if you're not the most perfect candidate, it might not be worth your time just even applying to that. Another thing that I've seen commonly, and was something that the company I used to work for used, is open to remote work some days, or open to working from home some days. That should be a big red flag if you're looking for a remote position. That usually means that they want you in the office most of the time, and occasionally, on rare situations, you can work from home. Like if you have a doctor's appointment or your kids are sick, or maybe once a month they let you work from home. One thing that can be really helpful in your search is to target companies that have a fully remote workforce. Everyone that is at that company works remotely. A couple cool ones are Scott's Cheap Flights, Basecamp. My freelance client practice is a fully remote law firm. So there are places out there. And if you see that that's one of the positions, they will be remote now and they'll continue to be remote because their whole infrastructure is built on a fully remote workforce. Those are really, really good ones to apply for remote jobs. They are also really, really high demand. I hope these income tips helped. I just have seen a lot of people get themselves into tricky situations or waste a lot of time and energy applying and interviewing and flying out for interviews for jobs just to find out that they weren't actually remote positions. Check out our job search resource guide to see where you can find all these different types of jobs. And if you're not just looking for a remote job, you're looking for maybe some contract freelance gig work, check out our other resources as well. I'll link a lot of them below. We hope this helped you. I know seems like a never-ending process to be applying for jobs, but there are so many remote jobs out there and they are there. The opportunity is there. This is the time to find them. And I know that you can do it. You just have to be looking in the right places and applying for the right jobs. This hopefully will help narrow down your search so you're not wasting your time and energy on applying for jobs that aren't really remote. And subscribe for more full-time travel and remote income tips. Bye, guys.
And join us as we continue our Mexican adventures, working remotely and traveling the world.